Taking pictures from your camera to your computer might seem a little daunting. So I'm gonna show you how to do it in a step-by-step guide. So first, let's start off with a few things you need. First, you need more than anything, a camera. Now, you need to take it on any kind of camera, DSLR or mirrorless. They'll all use the same type of card, which I'll show you next. These are the SanDisk SD cards. What I gotta show you is the SDXC Type 1, and the size is 64 gigabytes, and the write speed is 80 megabytes. So what does this all mean? Now first, the biggest thing on the card, the 64 gigabytes, is how much space it has. So you'll get roughly about 64 gigabytes, and that'll make it really easy to get a lot of good photos, and that's how much space you'll have in your camera to take the photos. Your camera will tell you how many photos you have. Now next is the write speed. So that 80 megabytes I mentioned, now that's how quickly your camera is gonna be able to show your photos, and also how quickly things will transfer over and write onto the card. That's really important to keep track of, because if you go on Amazon, you'll see the cards very similar, so the same size sometimes, but they'll actually have a better write speed, and that's why they're more expensive. Now next, what we need is an SD card reader, and this can be any SD card reader. I just have one random one that I had. You can use any SD card reader or anything that takes your data from your camera to your PC or to your computer. Here's the entire process of how to go through all of that. Now first, take your picture. So I'll just take a picture of all of you just so you can see. So I took my picture. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it onto my computer via SD card. One thing to also keep in mind is to have a hard drive. So I don't recommend keeping all this on your computer, because something happens to your computer, then you're not going to be able to have your files, and your computer will just be filled up. It'll be really slow, and you're not going to be able to do anything on it. So the best thing to have is a large hard drive. I personally use a Seagate hard drive, which is 4 terabytes. It has a ton of storage, and it's really affordable. It's like $130 at this time, but you can get it, and it might even be cheaper on certain holiday deals as well. So after you take a picture, turn the camera off so you're not burning power, and so you can safely eject your SD card. So on most cameras, you'll have your SD card on the side. Now what you do is you open it up, you pop it out, you'll feel a little bit of a spring, and then it'll come back out, and you'll be able to easily take it out. Do not force it out, because you'll damage your SD card and your camera probably. Now close this so you don't get any dust in it. Now let's go actually back up our data onto the computer. I'll see you when I get there. Now what you have to do is put your SD card reader into your computer. So just plug it in via USB or whatever it connects to. And what's going to happen is it's going to pop up with your folders. So for me, it shows the DCIM folder, and then you just go into the DCIM folder and you find whatever the latest folder is. So for me, it's 105 Canon. So over here, you can see I have the photo I just took selected. This is a CR3 file. So for certain Canons or certain higher end cameras, the file format will be different. So for Leicas, it'll be different. For Canon, for Nikon, for Sony, everything, it'll be different, but it's all pretty much the same thing. So what we have here is we have our photo selected. We're going to take it and put it into our folder on our hard drive. The reason we're doing this is because if you work off your SD card, it's going to be slower, and you're also probably going to run into problems when you take out the SD card or just in general. So the best thing is to put it on your hard drive or SSD. It'll just be safer, and also because you're going to have to do it anyway to back up your photos later on anyway. So you might as well just put it on there to begin with. So we're going to take our photo and just drag it over. And then you can see it has now copied over, and you see that thing pop up, so you saw that it has copied over. So what happens now is we go into Lightroom. Now on Lightroom Classic, it might be slightly different, but for the most part, it's just going to be the same. It's just going to go to File, Import, and you're going to import your photos. So for me on Lightroom CC, you go into Add Photos, you go to Browse. Let's get our photos. So this one is a CR3. We're going to select it and go to Review for Import. Now you can see that in our small little window over here, we have CR3. Make sure that's there, because you're going to get a lot more detail in it compared to a JPEG. It's just not worth adding a JPEG for the most part. But CR3 will retain all the quality, and you'll be able to save a lot of your photos. So once you like it and everything's selected, go to your photos. And once you like it, go hit Add Photo, or however many photos there are. Just hit the button, and you can see we have our photo in here. Now this photo is dark. It's not that great. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to show you exactly how I edit, because that's going to be another video. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring our exposure up. You can see we have all the quality coming back. You can see everything where I was looking. So you can see the camera. You can even see what I was taking. You can even see me taking the picture of the picture that we're looking at. So we have all our quality back. We have contrast. We have highlights. You can even play with the temperature, so you can see it's more yellowy. Let's turn it blue. White, more natural white, something like that, even orangey. You see, you can do a lot of cool things with this. So you can see the capability of RAWs. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to export our photos. Now, we're going to go to File, Export, or like what I do is I select all the photos I want in the film strip, and we go to Export. And for me, I have one photo, so I'm just going to select and go to Export. Now, a couple things to keep in mind is make sure up here on the right corner, it says JPEG. I personally like JPEG. It just feels more versatile. It just works better, I feel like. And you're not gonna have to worry that much about space. Now, another thing to keep in mind is dimensions. Keep it small, I feel like, because they just work better unless you're trying to print it out or something. That's probably the only reason I'd change it. And then the biggest thing is keep your quality at 90%. Keeping it 100, you're just gonna end up using more space than you need. It's not gonna be worth it. So 90% is more than enough. You're not gonna see much of a quality difference, and you'll be saving a lot more space than you thought you would be. Now, another thing is watermark. You don't have to put this in, but I like doing it just because I like having people know what my work is. So up here, you can type in your watermark. Lightroom Classic will probably be something similar. And all you do is you choose your font, all that stuff, the color, and even where it is. So I can move it to like the middle, for example, and you can see it's moved. And the size, so I can make it absolutely massive like that. I'm not going to do that. And then once you like it, then we hit export. And then if you have a folder set up, then just put it into that folder. So now we just put it into a folder that we chose to put it on, and that'll export exactly into the photo. So now it's going to be in our folder. And in a few seconds it'll be done because there's only one photo. And now we're going to go to that folder. So right here we have the photo that we took. Now if I open it, you can see we have very good quality. It's preserved pretty much entirely in JPEG, and also we have all our edits present in the photo. So it's a very quick and easy way to do all this. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is, but once you get into the hang of it, it'll be a lot simpler, a lot easier, and you'll retain all the quality that you have from exactly your camera, and you'll be able to still be as creative as you want to be. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe down below so you can see more of these videos. And if you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram or any other social media, it'll pop up right up here. Just hit it up, and I'd love to interact with some of you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.